What I'm gonna show you guys is basically the secret to 4,000% ROI, which nobody in here wants, right? You guys just want that like 1 to 2% ROI, right? That's all we want. Money in and no money out. That's what we're after? I know how to do that too, actually. Speaking of that, so I always like to tell a story about how failure and how I failed and things like that. And then like Vinny comes out and he goes, yeah, who here's lost $30 million? And I'm like, I can't even tell my story now. It's not even exciting. Because, I'm no genius. I'm no prodigy. I always say that. I bankrupted my own business twice. And the second time, I had to bail myself out with a student loan on which I had to get my parents to co-sign on, saying it was for my education. And I used it for my school, or for my business. Pissed them off, nightmare. I'm like, I thought that was a pretty cool story. And then Vinny's like, yep, did you ever lose $5 million to affiliate fraud? No, okay, never mind. No, I won't even tell my story anymore. So we screw up daily. I screw up daily. But you know what? If you just keep screwing up, eventually you'll get some things right. And that's the biggest little takeaway I could give you guys today, besides all this cool stuff I'm gonna show you, is be a screw up. Keep screwing up. Don't ever stop screwing up, and don't get embarrassed by your screw ups. Because the more times you screw up, the more times you're gonna hit something, the more times you're gonna have a win. And the way we got retargeting right is because I screwed up a whole lot of retargeting stuff, okay? So let's take a look. Retargeting, again, is you visit a website, you look at a product or an offer or a page, you don't take the action that the advertiser wants you to take, and then you start seeing an ad saying, come back and buy my stuff, right? Come back and opt in. It's the high heels example, right? That leopard print pair of high heels has been following me all over the internet. Actually, last night, it was zebra print, by the way. My wife was on my laptop apparently shopping down here, because she couldn't shop somewhere else. She was shopping on my laptop. This morning, I'm trying to review my presentations. And of course, I have to check Facebook, because what guy doesn't work on Facebook when he's trying to do PowerPoint? And what was following me around? There's a zebra print pair of high heels following me around this morning. Awesome. Nobody cares about my zebra print high heels. That's fine. Okay, so understanding retargeting. Aside from tracking your sales, tracking your traffic, tracking your conversions, retargeting will have the most dramatic impact on the conversions or on anything you will do in your business, okay? Massively successful. It will take a losing product that sucks and make it profitable or at least break even simply by adding in basic retargeting. You do retargeting really well, you can take a mediocre product and make it a rock star. So you got a lot of guys are talking about going negative on the front end, okay? You go negative on the front end, layer in retargeting, all of a sudden, guess what? You're not negative anymore. You're positive on the front end. So to leverage retargeting to the fullest, you have to have several different retargeting campaigns running at one time. Remember how I was making fun of Amazon, saying they're like the worst retargeters in the game because they retarget you with the same product you already bought? You can't have now granted, it still works for them because retargeting just works in general, but their ROI is gonna be probably 100 times lower than it should be. So retargeting will be used in your business in 4 main ways, which actually has a 5th way as well, but converting more visitors into prospects, more people who land on your website into prospects, opt-ins, right? Converting more prospects into tripwire or front-end customer sales. Also converting more customers, that existing customers, into repeat purchases, which is the most important thing you can do in a business. It's easier to sell to somebody you already have than to find somebody new. And then launching a new product, marketing complementary products, and the secondary benefit is enhanced branding. Because when you retarget, whoever you're retargeting, you're in front of that person everywhere they go. So in their eyes, you're also in front of everybody else wherever they go. The average consumer does not think, oh man, that's a retargeting ad. We're the only weirdos in this room who think that. Everybody else is like, oh man, this company's everywhere. Maybe I should pay attention to them. So, retargeting works. Okay, this is a screenshot from one of our retargeting accounts on Perfect Audience. So you can see this is a lifetime campaign, but we've spent a total of $11,000, 34 whatever, and we've generated over $240,000, almost $241,000 in sales, okay? This is from mediocre retargeting. This was a lot of testing, tricking, trying things out, and had a lot of failures. Our actual cost should have been a lot lower. But still, who would spend 11 grand to make 240 in sales? Agreed. This is not a bragging stat. This is just do it, guys. It works. Make it inspiring, take action with it. There's two different types of conversions with retargeting, okay? There is a click-through conversion, which we're all familiar with. Clicking through the ad and making a purchase or taking the action, right? There is also what's called a view-through conversion. A view-through conversion is when someone sees your ad, clicks on your ad, doesn't immediately purchase, but comes back later somehow and makes a purchase. So the sale is not directly attributed to the ad, but the ad was clicked on, so it did definitely keep the product top of mind or the offer top of mind. Make sense? Okay, I'm gonna be asking make sense a lot because I don't know what other else to say, and also because there's a lot of technical stuff in this, so give me some feedback on this when I ask, okay? Just like that. I prefer cat calls. I don't really like the I like the cat call or the whistle that I like to see. Okay, so retargeting realities. Website visitors who are retargeted with display ads are 70% more likely to convert on a retailer's website. 70% bumps, right? Retargeted customers are 3 times more likely to click on your ad than people who haven't interacted with you before. That's why we brand our retargeting ads, okay? They land on your website. Whatever the retargeting ad that fires should be congruent with the page they landed on. That way, it looks the same, it feels the same, and they start building a brand awareness with you. 26% of customers will return to a site through retargeting. This is cool, but the next one is what I really like. Display ads, banner advertising, right? We're all familiar with that. We've all clicked on an ad before. 0.07% is the average click-through rate for traditional display advertising. Retargeting is 0.7%. I hate decimals. Some of you guys in the mastermind saw my math skills without a calculator. But I can tell that's a big deal. Okay, you get rid of that extra zero and now things really happen, right? You're giggling at me. Matt knows my math is really awesome. Okay, so here's 3 more crazy retargeting stats real quick. Retargeted ads led to a 1,000% and a little change increase in branded search, okay? Search for a specific product or a specific brand associated with you. Websites see a 726% lift in site visitation after 4 weeks of consistent retargeting exposure. 4 weeks of retargeting exposure of sounds like it might be expensive, right? Some of our campaigns where we're doing hundreds of thousands of impressions, it's not a huge campaign by any means, but some of them, we're doing like $20 to $30 a week is what it's costing us, if that. Retargeting is dirt cheap, guys. Retargeting can increase conversions on your conversion rates by as high as 147%. Are you guys seeing why I've been harping on retargeting all weekend? Make sense? Cat call. Come on, guys. Humor me. There we go. 80% of companies do retargeting wrong, though. They do generic blanket retargeting, like I was talking about Amazon. One retargeting campaign fits all, right? Just turn it on and I'm good. The good news is just doing that is better than about 80% of the marketplace, and it does still work. Not tracking retargeting effectiveness. If you're not tracking what your retargeting is doing, why are you even doing it? Why are you doing anything online if you're not gonna track where your sales are coming from? You're just guessing. Don't guess. Treat it like a business. You're not leveraging multiple networks. Facebook retargeting is not, number one, it's not all that great. And number two, it's not the world of retargeting. There are dozens, actually, there's probably hundreds of retargeting networks out there now. There are at least 5 major networks that you should be leveraging. Each time you leverage a new network, you gain added exposure to a wider audience. You're not setting up sequential campaigns, okay? Again, one and done type retargeting. You need to set up campaigns, kind of like we were talking about in the cart abandonment stuff, where it progressively gets more aggressive or progressively makes a different offer to make the conversion. On-demand traffic. Retargeting is not just for retargeting. It's a mailing list on demand, okay? Do you have a new offer? You have a new product to put out there. Turn on a retargeting ad that pushes people to that product. You have a list. You can market to that list just like you can in email. What you see right here, $11,900 in sales, right? $99 profit. This is an Amazon launch. A lot of you e-com masters have seen this screenshot, right? If you look at this stat, it's at 4 a.m., no sales, 5 a.m., sales start to spike, and by 8 a.m., we're over 122 units sold. all from retargeting. Just straight up retargeting, just turned on an ad, boom. We sold hundreds of units that day. This was a brand new product that was unranked, had 0 reviews. We just pushed it out there. It's a traffic source you can leverage. It's traffic on demand. Pixels are worth money. We talked yesterday briefly about value per pixel, which is the amount of sales you are getting from retargeting, the sales value, divided by the number of pixels placed, which is your VPP. Oops, go back. Sorry, guys. So here's an example of with that same screenshot. We placed, 282,421 pixels in this campaign. Generated 241-ish thousand. Means that our pixels were worth 85 cents each, okay? Pretty close to what a lot of people's email lists are worth, right? Everybody says your email list is worth $1 per subscriber. That's actually BS, because unless you've done the metrics, you don't know what your email list is worth. A lot of people's email list is probably worth 30 cents per subscriber, 10 cents per subscriber, 63 cents per subscriber. If you don't know, it's just a number. But this, we're showing us that pixels are worth real money, guys. They generate sales. They're valuable. Don't treat them like a secondary thought process, okay? We choose pixels over emails. Everybody talks about collecting that customer email address. The email is the most important thing. It allows you to access the customer at any time. Pixels offer guaranteed exposure. If we have the choice between grabbing an email address from someone or grabbing the pixel, we're gonna take the pixel first because I can always get their email address later through a retargeting ad. Does that make sense? Awesome. Pixels offer guaranteed exposure. When we talk about email marketing, all of us have done email marketing, right? We all know how to send an email, and we've all been a victim of email marketing, right? We're not victims, but it's like, man, come on, quit bombarding me. You get those emails. Where do you access those emails? One place, your inbox. So number one, if I want you to see my offer through an email, you first have to actually go to your inbox. There's only one place you can see it. Next, you have to, hopefully, my email actually got delivered and didn't bounce or didn't go to spam and actually wound up in your primary tab in Gmail, not your promotional tab. Okay, so that's all precursor stuff. But then you actually have to go to your inbox. Then my email has to fight subject line for subject line with everybody else who's already in your inbox. So my subject line dictates also whether or not you're going to click it. Then you have to click on the email. You have to open the email. You have to actually start reading it. And then my content, or my copy, has to engage you enough to hopefully scroll down to where the link is, and then I have to inspire you somehow to click that link. Only then will you go to the offer page. Kind of a lot of work, right? You think about it through a process. How about retargeting? I have an offer, same offer that I was gonna send you via email. Turn on my retargeting campaign, push out an ad, you're one of my pixel lists. Now my ad for this same offer is everywhere you go. It's Facebook right side, Facebook newsfeed. It's on the Google network. It's on YouTube. It's on Huffington Post. It's on CNN. It's on every website in the world that you visit. What has to happen for you to see the offer? You have to do one thing. Click. And boom, you're at the offer. Can you guys see the dynamic difference between retargeting an offer and emailing an offer? Hugely different. And that's why it's so much more profitable. We'd still email, don't get me wrong, we're not emailing, but why not combine the two? You can't hide from our ads, like I said, you can hide from our emails, just quit opening them, right? So it doesn't mean we don't build email lists. We can always throw a retargeting ad up later to that same list and get the email, or a good percentage of them. So here's another thing, 91% say that retargeting performs the same as better than email, okay? So again, it does work. So when it comes to retargeting, there's a lot of different options out there. A lot of different platforms. I recommend that you start with Perfect Audience. Why? Because it's, again, like it says, the best all-around network. It can be tough to get initially approved, depending on your category. There's a ways around that, we'll talk about it. But it allows you to build lists and retarget on multiple networks at once. Facebook, right side and newsfeed. The web, display network, Twitter, and dynamic product retargeting, which we talked about with like the Zappos shoes and it's showing you what's actually in your cart, right? 4 things. If you use Facebook retargeting, what can you retarget on? Facebook. okay? Yes, it's easy, okay? There's an actual better emphasis for why you use Facebook retargeting or FBX platforms. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Start with this one, okay? If you haven't used retargeting, PA is awesome. There's a link somewhere in one of our, I think it's one of the Build, Grow, Scale Facebook pages that'll give you a $60 or $100, I don't remember what it is, coupon of free advertising when you start your account. Sometimes you gotta be a bit sneaky to get approved on Perfect Audience, okay? They used to be great, and then just like everything, the realities have shifted, markets have gotten tighter, restrictions are popping up, and it's harder to get approved, like supplement stuff hard, dating stuff hard, internet marketing stuff hard. Physical product stuff is pretty good. So just because they won't approve your site though, does not mean that your ads will not be approved. There's two different processes. You have to get your site approved, and then you have to get your ads approved, okay? And once your site's approved, every time you want to launch a retargeting campaign, you're gonna create a new ad for that campaign, right? Or a series of ads. Those have to go through an approval process. They're different people doing the approvals. They're much more lax, and they don't really care as long as it doesn't violate any of the major guidelines on the ads, but the site is where they're more restrictive because they're trying to cut down on the front end of what gets through. So if you comply on the front, you can still do other stuff as long as it's not shady on the ad side. So on the approval side, Perfect Audience likes blogs, they like authority sites, news sites, video hubs, membership portals, and most e-com stores. When I say most, as long as you're not in the supplement or the nutraceutical space, lotions, potions, thigh creams, butt creams, things like that. So you can actually, and we have training on this, guys. So all this technical crazy stuff, we teach in extreme detail inside of our retargeting engine course. So don't feel like you have to memorize this or figure out what this script means and how to use it. I'm just showing you for reference. You can use action scripts like this, and when you create your campaigns, you can run Perfect Audience ads on any website you control, even if it is not your approved site. So you want to build a retargeting, you have your approved site, and then you have another domain where you run most of your traffic, and you want to build a pixel list off that site. You can do that using scripts like this, all within Perfect Audience terms of service, okay? This is critical. This is where the magic starts to happen with these action scripts. And it's simply a copy and paste thing. Again, we teach that inside of our retargeting engine course. Leverage multiple networks. You want to drop multiple pixels, okay? Multiple retargeting networks, drop pixels. You use Site Scout, use Perfect Audience, use Facebook, use AdRoll, okay? Maybe even use Retargeter. On average, each additional retargeting network will increase your reach by 30 to 40%. And then you just duplicate that same campaign across multiple networks. You don't have to create a unique, different campaign. Just take the same ads you have on this network and plug them into the next network so that you're just increasing your reach for those different people. Your audience will not be able to escape you, which means lots more money in your pocket and better branding, better impressions on your audience. You're actually a bigger deal to them, and they will start to respect you more, and more likelihood of them becoming a brand ambassador or even just a complete raving lunatic fan of your products. Build segmented lists. Think of retargeting lists the same way you would in an autoresponder list. You would not just build one email list, right? You build an email list per product, per topic, per thing like that. Same thing. Here's a few different common types of lists that we build on, okay? List segmentation. Here's a very basic example to get a feel for how this works. So the visitor comes in, they visit the website. We drop a retargeting pixel here when they land on the website. Okay, that's our visitor pixel. That's like, hey, come back and buy, right? If they leave, come back and buy. If they buy, they go onto a buyer list where we can retarget them with a new offer. If they add to cart but don't check out, then we hit them with an abandoned cart. Hey, come back and buy your stuff. So there's actually 3 different lists here. It says 2, but there's 3 different lists that can go off of this, okay? 3 different pixels are dropped depending upon the action they take, which segments them based on their action. This is more behavioral stuff, kind of like Damien was talking about, right? You guys with me so far? Okay. Here's a list segmentation example using multiple lists through a sales funnel. So a visitor comes in. Sorry guys, back up. They hit the offer page, your first offer. They are now on your visitor retargeting list, okay? Then they move through the funnel and they hit your upsell page. Now they're on your front end buyers list, okay? So if they leave at this point, we will retarget them back to that upsell because they didn't buy it. If they do buy, they move on to upsell number 2, and they're now on our OTO buyer 1 list, meaning they bought the first upsell, okay? And if they buy the second one, when they land on the thank you page, they'll get tagged with that one. So ultimately, the same person could be on 4 separate lists. That's okay, it doesn't hurt anything. You also don't have to pay per pixel like you do with an email list. If you have the same email across 4 lists, you have to pay for it 4 times. 4 separate lists, 4 or more separate campaigns. So each one of these lists has its own retargeting campaign that pushes people back to whatever action they didn't complete. Still with me? Okay. Sequential retargeting. Use retargeting to move your prospects and customers along a programmed promotional sequence. Think of it as a linear progression. Linear progression of automated attempts to close the sale or get the opt-in. You're just trying to progressively move them along to get the action you want them to take. Most retargeting is set up as one campaign, like Amazon. Sequential retargeting, it's a series of short-lived campaigns that expire and start, that are triggered by the action or lack of action taken by the person. This is behavioral again. Sequential retargeting has increased our conversions by over 200%. Now, this is gonna start getting more complicated. Great, right? If you screw this up, 100%, or 99.99999% screw it up, you're still gonna be way, way, way more effective than if you didn't do it at all. And you can get better at this. You can also roll this out piece by piece. You don't have to come in and just be like, dunk, it's done, okay? So don't feel like it's a one or done kind of deal. Okay, so a sequential retargeting campaign example. So we have the review page. This is for a physical product, right? So we sent them to we never send traffic. So in an Amazon case, even in our e-commerce store case, we never send them straight to the cart or straight to the Amazon listing page. We always use a bridge page or a review page or a pre-sale page because can we drop a pixel on Amazon? Nope. But we can on a site we control, right? Actually, with User Grow, you actually can drop a pixel, but that's a different story. So a review page, they land on that. We drop a pixel. So if they don't continue through the process, they're gonna get an ad that says, hey, come back and check out this review, right? The next ad they're gonna get is a buy on Amazon, okay? Because if we have it on Amazon, now we could push them to our cart first, okay? But in this case, we're taking them from our review page to our checkout cart. And if they don't buy on our e-commerce store, it's not necessarily because they don't want the product. They may just not trust the store. They're just not sure who we are, things like that. Everybody trusts Amazon. So we try to recruit the sale here. If that doesn't work, we hit them with another retargeting ad a few days later, day 7 to 9, they get a discount offer. Notice we didn't lead with the discount. You don't need to incentivize people to buy right off the get-go just because they didn't purchase the second that they saw your product. And then if we can't get them with the buy on Amazon or the discount offer, we're gonna give them a giveaway offer where it's like, hey, opt in here to have a chance to win XYZ product, the same one they were thinking about buying, right? You see how we're sequentially and progressively trying to get them to take an action, and at the very end, if we can't get them to buy, we still try to get them as a subscriber. Because what happens when they're a subscriber? They go into a follow-up sequence that pushes them back to the same product. Okay, so now you're hitting them on email and retargeting, and the email could actually trigger a whole new retargeting campaign to help close the sale again. Here's a cart abandonment sequence example. So they abandon the checkout cart. They put something, add to cart, and they leave. So we first show them, hey, come back to the cart. Then we'll say, hey, did you see this review on this product? Maybe like an independent type review or a review site or a pre-sale page or something like that where they can get more information, maybe see a video of the product in action, something that gives them additional information that's not on the actual shopping cart page or on the product detail page. Okay, if that doesn't work, we send them a discount offer. If that doesn't work, we send them a giveaway offer. It's always sequential, okay? These are not complicated to set up, they just take a little bit of time. And the best way to figure this out, get a big sheet of white paper and draw it out. Draw it out and write below it what you need, what happens here and what the visitor should do if they don't take the action you want. What should happen to them. And if you just draw it out in a picture form, creating this whole campaign is very, very simple. So here is our favorite cart abandonment sequence. This is a sequential cart abandonment sequence. So they get a cart reminder, the first thing, right? They don't buy. Hey, come back and buy. I'm gonna send Dawn to your house as a collections agent, right? Product review. Hey, did you see this other thing? Check out this video we did or of a video in use or something like that, or unboxing or whatever. Next, it's buy on Amazon. Hey, you know that you may not trust this product or this store, but you like the product. Did you know it's also available on Amazon? Then we hit them with a discount. And then finally, again, if we can't get them to take the sale in the first 4 pieces, we're going to hit them with hey, opt in here and you can potentially win one of these items. And we do. Every week we give away one of those items on that list randomly to whoever subscribes. So if you're giving away one, you could be getting hundreds or thousands of opt-ins. We actually get a few hundred to 1,000 opt-ins a day from our giveaway sequences. Click. There we go. So this is, again, another technical thing you don't really have to stress on because we do teach it in detail. With a combination of short-lived lists, which are lists that expire based on a date range, have this pixel be live for 3 days and then die. And an exclude campaign where it's like, hey, don't target this list, ignore this list. It looks goofy. Once you start, again, you draw it out and you write out this person who takes this action should not see this, and this person should see this. It becomes very simple. You can create these automated progressive campaigns that you don't have to mess with. You set them up once and they're done. Okay, I'm not gonna get really into the tech on it because it'll spin your heads. So, email retargeting. You can actually drop pixels in emails as long as it's an HTML email. So you send out an autoresponder sequence or an autoresponder email or a broadcast email, you could have a pixel in there so every time someone opens that email, they're added to the retargeting list that you assign to that email. So you can actually fire a retargeting campaign that goes sequentially along with whatever your email promotion is. This can happen in automated follow-up. It can happen on broadcast. Doing this allows you to tie the ad campaign in with the email promotion, and it gives you a second, third, or fourth chance to get their intention in case they don't click on the link in an email. How many of you guys have ever opened an email, it better not be from me, but ever opened an email and not clicked on the link in the email? Right? When you guys open my emails, you always click the link, right? 100% of the time? Thank you. Okay, but when that happens, normally the chance to see the offer is lost. But as long as you open to the email, now the retargeting can take over and still push them back to the offer. So email retargeting, here's a quick example of that. Okay, so a 3-day promotion. Again, most of you guys have seen our training. We believe that every promotion should be at least 3 days, back to back, day 1, day 2, and day 3. When you send one email, it's however effective it is. 2 emails, typically double the effectiveness. 3 emails, for some reason, Don knows the science, make him answer it later for you. It's quadruple the effectiveness. I totally made that up, don't pick on him because I don't know if he knows the science because I don't know the science. It just seems to happen that way, okay? So a 3-day promotion. So we may have a 3-day retargeting campaign tied to each one of those emails. And then they expire on day 3 through 6. You may just give them some content, okay? Then the next promotion starts for a different product or a variation of the same product or whatever your product line is. Okay, and then a retargeting campaign assigned to that one starts. And then at the end of the promotion, it stops. What you can also do is you could have a retargeting campaign tied to a content sequence as well. Okay, can be leveraged so many different ways. YouTube retargeting. How many of you guys saw one of these videos for the event? Me driving in the car? Okay, yeah, so, well, I'll tell you. This was 3 different cars, 40 minutes, and 3 different outfit changes in my neighborhood. Because is Tommy? Or no, who was this? Was for Nishant. Nishant was asking us to do this. Nishant was helping us with some ads at this point, and he's like, "Hey, I need all these different ads. These are all variations on the same thing." So started out in my Audi, shot 3 different videos in one shirt, went home. I was like literally 5 minutes from the house. Went home, changed shirts, jumped to my wife's Jaguar, drove around the Jaguar, jumped back, got in my truck, did it again. Like 3 different shirts, 9 or 12 videos. Each video is nothing more than a pattern interrupt video. Why the heck is Tanner talking to me in a car? That doesn't make any sense. And then the one with Ryan and I that we did where it's like, hey, 2 guys in a car, baby seat in the back, no kid, kind of weird. It worked great, okay? So the whole point of doing it in the car was literally the pattern interrupt thing. Okay, so YouTube retargeting, retarget sites, pages to other videos, all right? The idea is a pattern interrupt with these in-stream videos. These are the videos that play before you watch your favorite cat video, the ad that you have to click to pass, right? So you're looking forward to watching this cat purr and pet the dog video, whatever it's going on, and I jump in front of your face driving, saying, hey, why do you need to be a VIP at BGS? Because we're gonna have an awesome mastermind, right? And tell you all the stuff that's going on. Lots of variations. I had another one that was like, hey, are you a t-shirt marketer? If you're a t-shirt marketer, here's why BGS is gonna help you. Then I had another variation that was, hey, are you an e-com marketer? Here's why you need to be at BGS. Hey, are you a direct sales guy? Hey, are you a supplement guy? Same basic script, but hitting it on the pain points and the interest points of each of these different markets, okay? These videos are short. A couple of them were a little bit longer. Most of them were, in the minute range, 2-minute range, whatever, sometimes shorter. I think we were talking about it during the mastermind. Everybody's agreeing that around the 90-second mark or less for these pattern interrupt videos is good, and you want to have repeated call to actions throughout the whole thing because they can click the video and go straight to your offer. So here's a workaround advertising method. We're jumping around a little bit now, guys, because now I'm getting into some of the more optional stuff that you can do that's really cool. How can you use retargeting to drive sales when you can't run pay-per-click ads? This workaround advertising was the complete promotion campaign that we talked about during the first presentation, the keynote, yesterday. We use content to drive retargeting that pushes the offer, right? All ties together, right? So here's a workaround example. So the content, they hit the content, they don't buy because there's nothing to buy there. It's just a content piece, right? The next thing we do is we retarget them. We retarget them typically to a review page or a pre-sale page. You could retarget them straight to your cart if you wanted to and say, hey, or your offer page, your e-commerce store. So you can play with those, swap them back and forth. We typically lead with the review page. All right, then we push them into a discount offer, a giveaway offer, and finally, a buy on Amazon, okay? Because this time we're trying to kind of building credibility first, so we're gonna use Amazon as the last resort. We've tested it multiple ways. Every business is different, you'll have to test for yourself, but in our case, swapping Amazon in the giveaway offer, instead of having the giveaway be the end, have Amazon be the end, gave us the best boost in conversions on the Amazon sales. Not sure why, just happens to be, mysteries of the mind. Putting it all together, now it's gonna start looking jumbly. Okay, so here is a basic funnel. Some of you guys have seen this if you've gone through our older simple micro funnels training. So traffic hits the squeeze page. The squeeze page has retargeting list 1 for all visitors. The goal of this retargeting list is to increase and bring people back to the squeeze page. Hey, you didn't opt in, come back and opt in, or else, right? Then they go from the squeeze page to the freebie page, where they're getting the actual thing that was promised on the opt-in page. This is retargeting list 2. This is the list of people who did opt in. Okay, so their goal is to retarget people who didn't take the offer on that page. Okay, so the tripwire is the offer on the thank you page. If they didn't take it, they're gonna get retargeted to that. The next one, where is it? There we go, is the tripwire. These are the visitors who land on the tripwire, which is also the freebie page. It's a delayed page. They're gonna get retargeted back to increase the tripwire sales. They hit the one-time offer, they either buy or they don't buy. If they don't buy, they are retargeted back to the one-time offer saying, hey, give us money every month. And if that's not gonna work, hey, give us money every month, but start with a lower amount. 3 different campaigns running in this funnel right here. Each one in boosting conversions on one step of the process, which again, over the long run, it leads to exponential growth. Does this make sense? Good deal. So here's an example of how you can put it all together. So this is using perfect audience. So this is an example of the previous campaign, the previous graphic we just showed of this one. And we're just showing it out, written out, okay? So the promotion is promotion number 1 was to increase the opt-in rate, right? So we increase the number of people who opt in. So we're using perfect audience Facebook retargeting. We have 2 retargeting lists. 1 is target all visitors. 2 is exclude the prospect. So once they opt in, they're no longer gonna see the ad for the opt-in page, right? Making sense so far? Same thing, increase tripwire. They're gonna have a thing that says, hey, you land on the tripwire page, but you didn't buy. Okay, so it's 2 lists, one's being targeted and one's being excluded. And you do that all the way through the sequence. Now, you can max it out. This is where we're getting it crazy. So let's take just the way to increase opt-ins. We're just trying to increase opt-ins here. So we have, using perfect audience, we now have 3 different campaigns targeting 3 different areas of networks. Okay, so we have perfect audience Facebook, which is the right side ads. Okay, so we have a campaign running to get people to come back to the opt-in page on the right side of Facebook. We also have another campaign that's the exact same campaign, maybe different ad creatives, but the same campaign running in the news feed, saying, hey, come back and opt in. Then we have another campaign that's the exact same campaign, the exact same creatives that's running on the web retargeting network, which is the display network. So now it's all over the web, covering both sides of Facebook and the web. Every single one of these ads is just pushing people back to opt in. So now take that. You have 3 different campaigns running for one action, right? Now do that for every one of your different actions you want them to take. Can you see how this is just building and building and building and building and getting crazy? It makes a lot of sales, guys. It puts a big smile on my face every day, and it's dirt cheap. So we got one more. Oh, let's use this. Let's go back. This is how crazy it can really get. So let's take that same campaign and let's use multiple networks. All right, so now we've used all the perfect audience. We have 4 different campaigns on perfect audience. Facebook right side, Facebook newsfeed, perfect audience web display network, and perfect audience Twitter. Okay, now we have 4 campaigns just on just on perfect audience. Then we add YouTube retargeting in. Then we add Site Scout web retargeting, AdRoll web retargeting, and the Facebook Ad Exchange retargeting, which is the normal Facebook retargeting network. I can't even count how many that is. What is that, 8, 9, 8? 8 different campaigns running for one action. Your reach is huge. Nowhere your customer or your prospect or your visitor goes can they escape you. This is how it gets ridiculous. This is how you get the 200% boost across the board in every action of your funnel, okay? Does this take some time to set up? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Is it hard? Not really. You just have to follow the system, follow the process. The technical aspects of it, that's all simple. We have over-the-shoulder training for all that stuff. Retargeting for list building. Okay, I said we use giveaways, right? When we retarget somebody, this is one of my students. This is Frank Keeney. Some of you guys know him. He runs a very, very successful e-commerce brand. And you can see they did $117 in retargeting ad spend, generated $7,000 in sales after they opted in to win this surveillance system. And he did. He gave away a surveillance system every week. And $7,000 in sales. Not bad. Plus the opt-ins, plus the repeat business, plus the retargeting list. Okay? It works. It works across everything. All right. Facebook pixels are magical. How many of you guys advertise on Facebook? Okay, cool. A lot of us, all of us. We should all be advertising on Facebook. The Facebook ads is, and I actually didn't even know this. I guess I'm just not that smart. But it's actually called the Facebook Exchange. I didn't know it wasn't just Facebook ads. It's actually called the Facebook Exchange. So that's their ad network. I didn't even know they had a logo or anything. Facebook pixels are magical. Facebook retargeting pixels are awesome. But what they're not awesome for is retargeting. And that's what they're for. Anybody know what they are magical for? Someone has to. Schmidt in here? Anybody? Okay, I'll just tell you. You get better Facebook recovering coverage through a third-party network, and you actually pay less through a third-party network like AdRoll or Perfect Audience than you would just retargeting on Facebook. The magic of Facebook pixels are lookalike audiences. How many of you guys have ever used a lookalike audience? They are the best thing in the world. So what you do is you put a Facebook retargeting pixel on your site, wherever. Maybe it's to track buyers. So you put a Facebook retargeting pixel to track buyers, and it builds up this list of all the people who've bought your product. And Facebook has data on all of those people. There's a unique identifier attached to them, right? We all used to scrape that thing, right? We don't do that anymore. We did that. So now there's all these unique people that Facebook knows are our buyer. We can take that retargeting list and create a lookalike audience of our buyers. We do a 1% lookalike, and we find that there are 250,000 other people out there that meet the same criteria that all the features and demographics that these people have, actions and stuff. You think that might be a very targeted list to start marketing to? And it's found for you. Facebook does the work. Okay? That is why Facebook pixels are mandatory everywhere through our funnel. Not because we actually never run Facebook retargeting. through Facebook. We only use their pixels for the lookalike audience thing. We've built audiences of 2.5, 3 million people off of a few hundred sales, 1,000 sales or so. And these people, and then we turn the ads on to that market that also tie in with more retargeting, and our sales go through the roof. Because now we're actually speaking to the exact people who are already buying and finding more people just like them without having to do any kind of heavy lifting. You place them everywhere. Partner lists. Some networks allow you to share retargeting lists with other companies. There's no such thing as competition, guys. Just collaborate. It's okay. We work with some of our closest competition. We partner up with them. We do all kinds of stuff together. Perfect Audience has their Beta Connect platform where you can actually share your retargeting list with somebody else and let them use it, okay? You can do this on your own as well. You can go out to somebody and say, hey, you're not leveraging retargeting. Let me help you with that. I'll run it, I'll set it up, I'll even pay the retargeting costs. I'll set you up a campaign that helps you do X, more opt-ins, more whatever. But you know what, we'll share the list. Put it on your account, or their account if they're not comfortable with it, just get it in writing. Now, you can build a massive retargeting list off somebody else, and you're helping them, and you're making them money too. So example, CPA networks. Who here has ever driven CPA traffic? Great. You guys have seen the massive amounts of traffic some of these networks generate, right? They're huge. If you ever want to talk CPA, find Adam Altias from Shopify. He knows all kinds of crazy stuff about CPA, blow your mind. You can go to these networks, and we have done this, and say, hey, you have this offer that's very specific to our market. It's converting well. I see you're paying out whatever. You guys aren't using retargeting. Most of them are not. We went to Lions Bay. It's about an $80 million CPA company, so they get the game, but they could not make retargeting work because it wasn't centric to what they were doing. They actually lost money on retargeting, which I've never seen before. So we went to them about a specific product and said, hey, how about we set up a retargeting campaign for this product? You put the pixels on your sales page, on your buyer page, put them out there. We'll set up a campaign that we'll fund the cost on, and we'll drive people back to this offer. And you can pay us an affiliate commission to offset our ad cost, even a reduced rate, and we'll help you guys make more money off this offer. They said, great, let's test it out. What is this? This was about less than a week, and it's 133,000 people on our new retargeting list from doing that. Very targeted to what we already have. Now, why does it say email? There's action scripts, and then there's HTML email scripts. If you can't get an action script to work, you can always take the HTML email script and paste that into a web page. Some reason with whatever, I don't know, the coding stuff, the other action script didn't work, so we used the email script. So it shows up as an email list, or generated retargeting list, but it's actually generated off a page. So, technical thing, but it's an option out there, and we teach that as well. It's just a little hack that you can use. Is that good? Good stuff? Mind-blowing? Awesome. Awesome. All right, so guys, we are gonna roll right into our next presentation. I know that was heavy. This next one's gonna be fun. A lot of fun.